Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Psychic Medium Raymond Guzman, and today I'm going to be doing a celebrity psychic reading on Miss Queen Latifah. And this was requested by some of my viewers. I absolutely adore her, and I was a big fan in the 1990s when she came out in the show called Living Single. For those of you that may not be aware of it, it was a very popular show. She starred alongside Kim Coles, Terrence C. Carson, Kim Fields, and Erica Alexander. Erica played Maxine. Queen Latifah played Khadijah. Kim Fields played Regine. Terrence played Cal. And Kim Coles played Sinclair. I loved absolutely all the show. And then there was John Hinton and Mel Jackson as well. But, you know, Queen Latifah always, to me, was the one that stood out the most. In addition, she is also a great rapper, MC, singer. You know, I don't want to categorize her as to her talent because she's very talented. But, you know, she falls in different categories, of course, because she's, like I said, talented. So today I hopefully, you know, what I hope to really come across through this reading is to give you insight as to what I see for Queen Latifah going in 2018 and 2019, well, 2019 and more, you know, beyond whatever spirit brings through for her. Now, I do feel like she's a remarkable woman. She's been through so many odds. She's definitely a pioneer in the industry, in, you know, the hip hop type of music, R&B, you know, because when she was, you know, back then in the early 90s when she first broke onto the scene, and, you know, she started becoming, you know, on TV and doing her music videos, and then some movies as well that she was doing in the early 90s. You know, it was a very different time, and I feel like it was more male dominated even then. So for her to have that kind of star quality power, it's very rare talent. But growing up, I do feel like she was very different, but her mom kept her in check. I do feel that she loved her mom completely, and that she kept her very grounded. But there would have been things as she got in a teenager, you know, kind of like her moods, her attitude, and her view on life. I think in her early 20s, it was very different. What I'm getting from Spirit was very different than what she sees in mid 20s going into, you know, 30s and where she is now, you know, how old she is now. But it was a lot of a growth process for her. I do feel like, you know, in her early careers, you know, she was almost not following other people or the trends, but she wanted to be that girl, you know, that woman that was very popular, you know, for the music that she was doing. But I feel like slowly and truly, you know, there was a lot of things that opened her eyes in the industry, which made her believe and kind of follow more into the actress role. But music will always be a part of her and who she is. Losing her mom, I feel like recently, you know, that happened this year in 2018. I believe it was in March, Miss Rita. You know, the losing her mom was a big blow to Queen Latifah because they were very close. Very close. And Queen Latifah loved her mom completely. So losing her, you know, that was like her pillar of support left here in the physical world. I feel like that kind of devastated Queen Latifah and kind of changed her perspective on life and knowing how short it is. She's a very spiritual person. I get that she is very much aware of where she is and who she is. She's grounded, and she doesn't, I don't feel like she's a diva, you know. She doesn't take on that role. She keeps it real all the time. You know, who she is on set, who she is on TV, it's the same person. You know, Offset, she's a nice, sweet person, but, you know, she has her boundaries and her limits, and all she wants is to be respected. And, you know, I feel like she is now getting some of the respect that she should have gotten way back in the day. I feel like she's very underrated in the early 90s and mid 90s going into early 2000s. You know, a lot of people didn't really know who she was, or she wasn't promoted as well as she could have been. She wasn't in the spotlight as much as she should have been, you know, and being recognized for her talents, because she's an amazing actress. in her movie roles, and also great TV host. You know, she's done it all. She's done modeling for CoverGirl. She's done her makeup line through CoverGirl, I believe, and she's been involved in every single kind of project that you can imagine. You know, what hasn't she done? She's done everything. And I feel like she's like this brand, almost like, you know, a younger version of Oprah on a certain level. And I feel like we haven't seen the last of Latifah, but I do get, like I said, her life has changed completely over this year. She would have entered some kind of depression, which is normal. I mean, that's part of the grieving process. But she knows that her mom's spirit is around her and loves her, and I do feel like she maybe does dream about her as well. That's what I'm getting from spirit. I do feel like right now she is entering her grind phase. I think she's coming out of the depression. She's dealing with it. She's gonna have good days and bad days, but you know, we all do. But she's a very, very strong woman and very remarkable. And I do feel like she is focused very much on money, and she's focused on her career right now. So like I said, she kind of stepped out after her show. She had a morning talk show that would come out, I believe, on Fox. I would watch it every morning when it came out. I think it was in 2015, 2016. It was sometime around that time she had a show. It was called the Queen Latifah Show, and it was really, really good. I loved it. She kept it very, you know, alive and stuff. But like I said, it's a very male-dominated world, and also I feel like, you know, having an early morning spot, a lot of people didn't want to watch, or you know, a lot of people are at work during that time, so it kind of became a nightmare. I feel like for her, even though she enjoyed it, it wasn't really something that she saw going through long term. And then her mom was sick during that time as well. So I'm getting that she's working on new projects completely. We are going to see her on some new TV roles. I also feel like she has been in the studio, or at least writing and recording. Like she still wants to produce an album and get it out. And I get that she is definitely working creatively on writing songs and whatnot, but she wants to get back into the music as well. That's always, like I said, it's always going to be a part of her. When it comes to her love life, I feel like it's very vague. She keeps it very private. She doesn't want people to really know. I feel like she's very open to her duality, and she's comfortable in her sexuality with who she is. You know, some people have speculated that she's bi or that she's a lesbian, but you know, regardless of the situation, I respect Queen Latifah. I think she's beautiful, and I feel like, you know, she has a duality to her, and she can express it any way that she wants. And you know, these next couple of months are not going to be easy for her. I feel like it's going into 2019, the first 2 quarters of 2019, there's going to be a lot of projects, TV things that she's doing. She's going to have to be very strong, because I feel like a part of her is still like reverting back to not having her mom, even though she is a very independent, and you know, she knows that she's got the it factor to do whatever she puts her mind to. But I feel like not having her mom here, it didn't weaken her to a certain point, but it did change her perspective and kind of makes her lose a little bit of the confidence that she had before then, which is normal. But I do feel like she's walking away from something. There was a conversation or something that would have transpired over the last 5 months, from today's date, in the past, that she's walking away from something. I feel like it was walking away from an agreement. Maybe there was an offer that was given to her and she pulled away from it. But I see her, you know, coming out of it and looking at it from a bigger perspective, that she did the right thing. And I feel like also when she was doing her talk show, there was some money negotiation issues that maybe were not made public. I feel like they didn't pay her exactly what, again, she deserved to be paid as a TV host. And so she's coming out of all of this. But whoever she is dating now, there could be like 2 guys that are interested in her, that she may be talking to. I don't know who they would be exactly. I know that I get like one would be African American, and the other one may be like Caucasian. That's the way it's coming through from spirit. But whoever she's talking to, there is one of these guys that is not really good. There's a lot of darkness surrounding that gentleman. A level of caution would be warranted for Queen Latifah in that relationship, because I feel like it's not a healthy relationship. The guy has some dependencies. He has some baggage. He has some darker energy attached to him, and so the best suggestion for Latifah, only she would know, if she, or people that are close to her, that kind of stay away from that situation, because there's a lot of things that are being kept secret that are going to come out into the light. And for her, being a public persona, being a celebrity, it's not something that she wants to have come out in the news. But I do feel like she's not prejudiced over when it comes to men in her life, or anyone in particular. Color doesn't matter to her. She sees everyone the same. Although she does love, her, she does love, everyone. She loves being black. She loves it, and she's proud of it. But she's not wanting to be categorized or judged by people. Because I think a lot of people, would try to say that Queen Latifah's a sellout or this and this and that if she decided to come out, in public with, let's say, a relationship with a white man. But I don't get that at all from her. I get that, that she's very grounded, and she's going to ultimately pursue that. But right now, I don't feel like there's a lot of things going on in her love life. I don't feel like it's very exciting. Like I said, this is not the time right now. 2019 is not really a year for her love life to really blossom. There may be some photos that come out of her with some man, attending an event or whatnot. But I do feel like she's very wrapped up in projects throughout 2019. And she is going to, basically, Spirit is telling her to kind of, go with the flow and take a chance. Because there's something that maybe that she's wanting to do creatively, maybe even in acting a certain role that people wouldn't expect her to do. But she's kind of on the fence with it right now, because she doesn't want to face judgment or prejudice from other people, judging her, exactly what her decisions are, because she's very scrutinized, and she always has been in her career. People have looked at her for her weight, which is beautiful, and she's proud of it. But I feel like she's always been told by people that are in the business world, you need to lose weight, you need to be a certain size, this will give you more opportunities and whatnot. So it's something, and I think with her mom passing as well, she's also is very concerned with her own health, and she's scared about maybe developing some of the same issues that her mom had, and I get that, Spirit is relaying that message that she's going to be okay, and that what her mom had was due to, different circumstances. So she doesn't need to worry, but I do feel like ultimately she is going to make sure that she is eating properly and taking care of herself, because yet she has a lot to accomplish here in the physical world still. And she's cutting out this year a lot of people that are toxic in her life. I see her ending friendships, ending, connections to her that are more like leeches, like parasites, people who maybe don't have her best interest. And like I said, she's a very sweet person, but a very smart businesswoman when it comes down to it at the end of the day. So I do feel like she is definitely going to be doing that. One area of concern for me for her health, and again, I cannot diagnose because I'm not a doctor by any means. This is just a spiritual insight. For her on her health, what I would get is what I'm getting to be watched for is something with her, and this is coming from Spirit, with her her feminine, to be sure to watch that area and have her, her exams and whatnot that women usually get once a year, because that's something that definitely is something to watch for her. I think also a lot of people are questioning, why she hasn't had. But when it comes to having children, I do feel like she wants to have children. I also get like, she would be exploring relationships with females as well. Like I said, but I get 2 males for some reason. So there could be, a relationship that she has open. Love is love. I do feel like she is, not not she doesn't discriminate. But there was rumors that she was with Ebony Nichols, which is a choreographer, and then also her personal trainer Jeanette Jenkins. So like I said, there's a lot of speculation. I feel like she may have a relationship with him, but in all actuality, whoever she is more romantically involved, there's a darkness behind that. And I do get that there is a male as well. So even though she may have a relationship with a female, I just want to make that clear in this reading, because she may have a relationship with a female as well. But I feel like there's like almost a lot of conflict around her love life. And she does want to start a family, but I feel like, she may have to go the route of maybe adopting, or whatever the situation may be. I do feel like she is definitely going to pursue that and start a family. With the passing of her mom, I feel like it became a reality for her, and a lot of planning about it. But like I said, her mom is proud of her regardless of who she is, and her mom was proud of her even then, regardless of her choices and what she's done. There's a lot of things going back and forth, but like I said, I do see I see men. I see two men, a white one and a black one, and I also see two women as well. And it could be possibly that there's feelings that she has for different people. But ultimately, regardless of who she is, she needs to be careful with her love life, because I feel like whatever is going on there in that situation, there is some confusion. There's some things that are not being said, and what's going to end up happening is that everyone is going to end up with their heart broken. But again, this is her personal life. But I do feel like over the next two to 3 years, we're going to see more about her personal life. And I feel like she will, eventually settle down. And she wants that, she wants to settle down and still pursue, like I said, she's on her grind with her projects and whatnot, completely. I do get that there would be some choices that she's having to make as far as where she's wanting to live, and I feel like there's a lot of traveling as well. So I get proper, real estate property acquisition. I do feel like she has assets, but I feel like if she's not careful in looking at her assets, that there would be some things that she needs to maybe look at in more depth. There could be some people taking some money, stealing it from her, without her even knowing. But I feel like she trusts people, but again, she needs to have that level of awareness there, with her, her finances, and what's is concerned with that. But ultimately, she is financially well off. I feel, she doesn't have to really worry. If she would stop working now, for the rest of her life, she would be, pretty much okay. But I feel like what gives her drive and what keeps her going, now that, again, she doesn't have her mom, is to do the work, and she does want to have that family, like I said, even if it's 2 kids. But I feel like she is going to be looking into her options at this point, because she is in her late 40s, I believe. But she is at an age right now where I don't feel like she could physically have children, even though it could possibly be that she could. I don't feel like she could, due to health concerns. It would be a high risk. So that's what I'm getting from Spirit for her. But her career is far from over. I feel like she's going to have collaborations, with people, other artists in the music industry. She is definitely going to continue to do a lot of movies that are funny, that are really great, and have more presence again back on TV, and just a lot of creative projects that she's working on. Like I said, she reminds me a lot of Oprah, but again, I'm not comparing her, because Oprah is her own person and Queen Latifah is her own person. But yeah, she's just a great spirit, and whatever her choices are, she's going to be fine. Just kind of have a level of awareness with everything that's going on in her life. So Biggest hugs and blessings to Queen Latifah and her family and friends, and to her fans that would be listening to this reading. So thank you once again. If you did like this reading, please give it a thumbs up. If you would like to set up a private reading with me, you can go to my website. That's www.raymondguzman.net/shop. I am giving 10% off of any psychic reading until December 31st, 2018. Use promo code HOLIDAYS, that's capital H, and then OLIDAYS on my shop, and you'll be able to take 10% off. Follow me also on Instagram and Facebook, please. And my social media handle is at Psychic Medium Ray. And also, if for those of you that are not aware, I am holding a giveaway right now for 2 psychic readings that I'm going to be giving away. It's only for YouTube because I did hit 10,000 plus subscribers. So thank you so much for your support and for your love. If you haven't gone to the community tab on my YouTube channel, go to the community tab and then you can see where to enter. There's a post there for the giveaway, and the winners will be announced on January the 5th, 2019, which again, it's my special token of saying thank you for your support here on my channel. Those of you that are tuning into this for the very first time and you haven't subbed, please go ahead and hit the red subscribe button on the bottom right hand corner of this video, as well as the notification bell icon, so that way you can be notified of any future videos that I do publish. Blessings and love and light. Have an amazing day.